All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the M&K Productions Podcast. We just spent like a good 10 minutes goofing around. But to quote a great philosopher, welcome to the show. I don't know who that is from.
No, you say not the bees!
Not the bees! Ah! But yes.
It goes on today's topic.
Yes, but I'm joined here as usual by my co-host, Christian, a.k.a. Mr. Wingo. Say hi to the folks at home, Christian.
I always look like I'm strutting for the camera, even though no one can see me right now, because we are an audio podcast, except for interviews. But hello, everybody.
Yes. And we have a great episode planned for you all. We are going to be going over some entertainment news, and then we'll be talking about the movie that we've been having on our radar for these many, many moons. It is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I think we've been talking about this movie ever since I was a guest host.
Yeah, it's been like a full 2 years.
It's funny how time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
Fun happens with Kristen and Mac.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, we're gonna give our thoughts about. We're gonna give our thoughts about that, and we're gonna see if we liked it or not, and then we're gonna go into some box office numbers, and then what's coming up next on the podcast. Kristen, are you ready to go?
Yes, and guys, we were supposed to have a guest on. I mentioned that in the last episode when you heard our interview and VHS 1994 episode, but unfortunately our guest could not make it tonight. Mac and I have been busy in our personal lives, so we had to put our episode on hold, and our guest couldn't make it because of due to scheduling issues. But originally when this episode was going to be recorded, we had a set date, but unfortunately things had happened, and our guest will be returning for a future episode. So please still tune in and listen to our show. We work really hard on this show.
Yes, please. We just please listen to us. Let us get right into the news.
Or you need more emphasis. We gotta go right into the news, and then we go, this is CNN.
Yes. Or we can go harass the elderly man on Twitch and eat popcorn.
Okay, great.
This is CNN.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so the news for this week. There's a few interesting stuff going on, but I think it's cool.
I think I know what the most interesting news topic you're going to talk about. It's about the Met Gala.
No. I'm going to kick your ass.
Don't Worry, Darling trailer with the hairstyles and Florence Pugh and Olivia Wilde and her documents she received. CinemaCon. You can't see me, but I'm shaking my hand, like as in the guy who gave her the papers.
No, so since Doctor Strange is coming out when we're recording it, I want to talk about what Sam Raimi said, because this actually intrigued me a lot. Screw all the Met Gala. Who cares about overdressed people?
And CinemaCon, are we saying, no, we can't say screw CinemaCon, because that's our goal, to get to CinemaCon.
Stuff happened at CinemaCon, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But let me do my news story, damn it.
Okay.
Sam Raimi, the GOAT, who had brought us classics as the original Spider-Man trilogy, and to a lesser extent, Oz the Great and Powerful. He says that a movie that he made back in the 90s called Darkman is maybe getting a sequel courtesy of Universal. Kristen, have you ever seen Darkman?
No, but I want to see it as long as you just said that. I love Sam Raimi.
This was a movie back in the 90s, and it actually stars Liam Neeson as the main character and Frances McDormand in like one of her earlier roles.
I just did a nice kick as in what? And I haven't seen this?
And it's about Liam Neeson plays Dr. Peyton Westlake, a man that can alter his appearance and is seeking vengeance against the mob that disfigured him.
All right, this is something I gotta watch.
Yeah, this is from the 90s. It's actually a comic book film, and it was really,
have you
good.
Seen the original?
Yes, I have.
Okay, if you've seen it, I have to see this.
I love it because it's the earlier version of a vigilante crime drama, and it kicked off in the 90s. It came out a full almost decade before Punisher came out in movie form. for the Thomas Jane one. But it was a good movie. But I would love to see Sam do a sequel at Universal because Sam Raimi's kind of having a comeback, and I'm all for it because he had not made a film.
I've always loved Sam Raimi.
I do too.
And we'll be talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse in our next episode. But Sam Raimi has been a director I've grown up with for ever since I was a child, and I've watched all the mostly watched everything horror he's done. Except for this film that you just mentioned. I haven't seen, but everything else I have seen.
Yeah, this is a kind of like one of those under the cracks movies, but I recommend Darkman, and I cannot wait for a sequel. But anyway, speaking of serving people, let's talk about CinemaCon. Wasn't that a thing?
That was a lot. A lot of tea and gossip was served. The most talked about conversation piece was not Top Gun, was not Lightyear, but was Olivia Wilde's movie, Don't Worry, Darling. And boy!
And she got served on stage.
She was served papers from her ex-man, Jason Sudeikis.
That's funny.
I was not expecting that. She is supposedly dating Harry Styles, and he is going on tour. As someone who knows...
Hey, how old is she?
She's like 40-something, as I look it up.
How old is
Harry Styles is like a year or two older than me.
So, God.
Yeah, here's the thing. I will also tell you this. Harry Styles has kind of a thing for older women, I think.
You don't say.
So, let's look into Harry Styles' dating history. I was never expecting to talk about this on our show.
You go ahead and talk about it. I'll mute myself.
All right, so dating history with Harry Styles. Oh, timeline, here we go. I was not expecting to talk, like I said, I was not expecting to talk about this, so this is actually exciting for me. Okay, so this is going back to 2011, which was when, like, Harry Styles made his year. But he dated an presenter named Caroline Flack, and they had a connection in 2011 when he was just 17 years old and she was in her 30s. They met when she was a presenter, like I said, during X Factor, and Emily Attack, which is a star in the In-Betweeners in the UK, which I have seen, and he dated Taylor Swift, Nicole Scherzinger, and, you know, from Masked Singer and the Pussycat Dolls. Then Kendall Jenner. He's dated Aaron Foster, Natalie Lupoid, Sam Sempoy. These are all, like, Victoria's Secret models. Basically, what I'm about to rant off. Gloria Fowler. Then Kendall Jenner again. Tess Ward, who was a food blogger. Camille Rowe, who I did remember, and Kimiko Shimura, and now we have Olivia Wilde when they met while they were filming Don't Worry, Darling, and sparks flew, and now they are together. But Harry is going on a international tour. I got to see him when he did his North American tour, and as someone who's more of a fan of his music than more of his personality, than more of his attractiveness, I love Harry Styles for his music writing and pretty much anything he kind of does when it involves his music career. I don't care what he dates or who he dates or how he dresses or anything, or who he date, basically, or what he identifies as. I enjoy him as a performer. So for me to see this and see the fact that Olivia was served papers, I was like, okay, she's ready to tour with him, because she has been with Harry at just about every single show when he was on his tour in 2021. So, and she was even at his Coachella set. So, Jason's like, nope, you're not touring the world with my kids. Let me serve you some papers. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's see. This is all, like, alleged. Apparently, he didn't know that she was going to be served during the papers during her presentation at CinemaCon, but they did. Do you think this was set up, Mac? for her to get
Honestly,
married.
I really didn't care. I was like, oh well, something happened, man. Also at CinemaCon, we got the official title for the next Avatar movie, which was 13 years in the making. It's called Avatar: The Way of Water, and
I did see the trailer.
Oh yeah, you saw Doctor Strange. That's right. So, but without saying any swear, how does the trailer look? Does it make you excited to see Avatar 2 after 13 years?
Absolutely not. I grew up with Avatar. I was in the 8th grade. This is I know when my cinema taste was changing. Okay. So let me tell you this. There was an old friend of mine at the time who loved Avatar. And guess who wanted to watch Bratz over Avatar?
You?
Yes. I preferred to watch the Bratz movie over Avatar.
Good.
I don't like Avatar. I'm like, I really enjoy James Cameron's work, but I'm just like, Avatar is not for me. I did not understand Avatar at my 13-year-old brain at the time. My brain was like, ooh, not really into this.
I was 10 when the first movie came out, and I was in 4th grade, and now I'm graduated college.
We both graduated. And this movie was supposed to come out when
2018.
Yeah, and it is now 2022. People don't care anymore. I don't think people care that Avatar is even a thing in Disney World. Like, you know that jungle gym where you can run around and see the blue people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I've said it before. Listen, like I said this, I'm gonna just summarize it. James Cameron is a perfectionist. I get that, but dude, it's been 13 years, and it's a movie that people. Here's the thing: with hindsight now, Avatar is not a great movie. It's not a bad movie. It's okay. We've seen it done in other movies, but when you release the movie, it makes $1 billion, and then you don't do anything in the years to like support it. Like, there's no video game. There's like barely any video games, no books,
except
like no news.
And a attraction in Disney.
That's it. But there's nothing to keep people like, man, I want to go back to Pandora. Like, there's no one like, nothing that like it left on a cliffhanger 13 years ago.
Mostly everybody on Film Instagram. If you're not on Film Instagram, get on it, please. But there's some great content creators, and mostly people said that this trailer was pretty average, and they did not care.
Because it's like, no one, like, Avatar, the time for an Avatar sequel was like in 2011, because that's when the original second sequel,
yeah,
it was originally going to come out, but it's like, it's been 13 years. I've never seen, like, no, and then they're like, hey, Avatar finally got a title. No one gave a shit.
No one cares. Nobody cares about Avatar. I don't care. Like, as somebody who grew up with it, I don't care. And I mean, if Mac, if you and I have to record an episode about Avatar, that's the only time I'll go see it. I'm not going to see this movie when it comes out at Christmas. I'm not going to see it if, like, anything happens.
It's going to bring 3D back to relevance, trust me.
If anything, if it gets nominated for stuff, then that's when I'll go see it, or if we're going to talk about it for our show.
Leave it in the comments below. Are you excited for Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Or just that you just don't care, and that it's over its prime in time, and James Cameron needs to move on to a different project.
Yeah, but
let's talk about Catherine Bigelow. She
sucks.
No,
I don't like Catherine Bigelow.
No.
I've made it. Oh no, I haven't talked about. No, I don't like Catherine Bigelow.
All right, let's move on to a happier subject. So let's talk about the one and only. Let's move on to the Broadway, because Broadway is opening up. And let's talk about Ariana DeBose, because she is set to host the 2022 Tony Awards. Yes, Mac and I.
It's set to the Broadway play, right?
The Tony Awards. It's musicals.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought music was like
jazz hands. You can't see that on camera. What?
I thought musical was gonna be like Grammys or something.
No. Grammys are music. Tonys is Broadway. Like, Broadway, baby! But anyway, she is set to host the 75th Annual Tony Awards at Radio City Music Hall. So, she'll be the host of that. Of course, she is known for her Academy Award-winning performance in West Side Story. If you haven't seen West Side Story, get on it.
Honestly, I watched that the other day.
Did you love it?
I wasn't into it.
What?
I thought it was very flat and not very. And it wasn't like. Honest, I'm being like that. I'm breaking character right now. Like West Side Story 2021, it was okay. I didn't think it was like. It felt very bland, and the fact that I really cannot stand Ansel Elgort after this. I'm like, you are a smug bastard.
He is, but why did I love his performance in that? I'm so sad.
Because you support bad people.
I am supporting this bad person.
But I just know it's like with West Side Story, it's just like it just didn't do anything. It felt flat.
You didn't like Mike Feist or
No.
Rachel Zegler? You didn't feel the zeg in the Zegler?
No, I watched it, and to confirm how I felt, I watched the original one after. I loved that. I was having so much fun.
I love the original, and
I'm like, I'm thinking like, why?
But I love the remake twice as more, and I listen to the soundtrack a lot.
I thought the remake was boring. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Anyways, so according to the article from TV Insider, the 75th Annual Tony Awards is a celebration of big moment for all of us in the theater community. And when Ariana, we have found the perfect host to lead the celebration. Heather Hutchins, the president and CEO of the American Theater Wing, and Charlotte S. Martin, president of the Broadway League, said, "We cannot wait to see Ariana take the stage on June 12th and dazzle, inspire, and entertain us. She enjoys the one of many ranks of the Tony Award hosts, including James Corden and Neil Patrick Harris and Whoopi Goldberg." So, Mac, we've talked about Broadways before. Will you be watching the Tony Awards and mostly watching? Like, I want to watch it only because I only want to see the Ariana DeBose moments.
I'll probably just I try to just keep up on Twitter to see who wins.
Yeah, I mean, Broadway is open. It is near somewhat the corner around my end. It takes some time to get there, at least on my end. But Broadway has opened up. It is still expensive as heck. And there's some good Broadway performances. Did you know Sam Rockwell is now on Broadway?
Yes, I did, actually.
And the show called American Buffalo with Darren Criss and Lawrence Fishburne. I want to see it, but tickets are stupidly expensive. So here's to one show I will, like many other people, that will never ever see. Do you think they should still continue recording Broadway shows and put them on Netflix and Disney Plus?
Because here's the thing. Here's a little local fun fact about Mac. His city, Springfield, Massachusetts, has officially put back the mask mandate. So we could be on the verge of another lockdown in the coming months. So that could be fun. But I think recording plays, honestly, because you see how Hamilton was popular. Hamilton was filmed like, what was it, 2015 it came out? And it was like the highest thing watched on Disney Plus. Dude, like...
we recorded an episode about it with our friend AJ Reacts. So what up, AJ? But anyways, it was one of the most popular things.
If you record it, I think... Here's the thing I've learned. If you record Broadway plays... Because, let's face it, you said it. Broadway musicals are very, very expensive.
They are very expensive. And it's hard to get a ticket for certain shows unless you show up the day of the show or 15 minutes prior, because they like to see a full house, and especially the actors. The actors love to see the fact that the house is full and they can give a rousing performance. And
put it on Netflix, any streaming service, because it'll make it cool. People
watched it. Even the Elizabeth, Princess Diana. What did I say? I was going to say Elizabeth Taylor, but Princess Diana. And then we also have Come From Away, also on Apple TV. So people like to see some form of Broadway on their screens. I know there is another streaming service that does have plays that you can watch, like previous Broadway performances, but it would be nice to see a streaming service actually get a hold of a performance and say, hey, you performed like during this period and this period. Let's record a show and let's put it on our streaming platform.
Actually, I am subscribed to the National Theatre Association in London on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because during 2020, I was in college. I was taking a theater class, and we watched some plays. And I actually watched some plays. And it was actually really good.
Yeah, and I know the fact, like, even Phantom does all those live events, like, especially at Lincoln Center.
I've been to some of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Phantom performances?
Yeah, it was, I forgot what name. It was the ballerina one, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, people like to watch them. So, um, Broadway, please consider that so I can watch American Buffalo because I just want to see Sam Rockwell. And also, Daniel Craig is on Broadway as Macbeth. So this also comes to talk of also Denzel Washington just recently starring in Macbeth and the tragedy of Macbeth.
Macbeth.
Tragedy! Alrighty, should we talk about something controversial or something more happy?
Let's do controversial.
Alright, you said it here, folks. Alright. Alrighties, guys. I don't know how you feel about this, but did you grow up with Fred Savage, Mac?
No, actually. But
No?
I am aware of him.
Alright. As recording this today, May 6th, 2022, and Savage has been fired as a executive producer of The Wonder Years, who's been accused of inappropriate conduct. The original Wonder Years actor, star Fred Savage has been fired from ABC's reboot following an investigation into allegations of inappropriate conduct. This is coming from TV Line and from Deadline. And from TV Deadline, it states in the article, our sister site Deadline has details with Savage facing multiple complaints of misconduct from his time as an executive producer and director from the Wonder Years reboot, which debuted on the ABC slate last fall. Allegations reportedly include verbal outbursts and inappropriate behavior. I don't know what the inappropriate behavior was, but going on, it says, recently we were made aware of allegations of inappropriate conduct by Fred Savage, and as this policy and investigation was launched, producers of the 20th television state in a statement. Upon completion, the decision was made to terminate his employment as an executive producer and director. Savage starred as young Kevin Arnold in the original Wonder Years, which aired from 1988 to 1993 on ABC. He joined a reboot as an executive producer and director, helming 8 episodes in total, including the pilot. Savage is a frequent director of ABC shows and helmed episodes such as Blackish, The Connors, The Goldbergs, and Modern Family in recent years. The Wonder Years is a reboot. And, yeah, how do you feel about these allegations according to Fred Savage? Because I got to know Fred Savage when he worked with Rob Lowe on this Fox show called The Grinder. Mm-hmm. Does anybody remember that, or was I the only one who watched that at the time?
You may be the only one.
Yeah, that's why it got canceled. But anyway, Mac, how do you feel about this? And did you grow up with the Savage brothers, such as Fred and Ben Savage?
No, I did not. But
you did not watch Boy Meets World when you were a child?
I watched Girl Meets World.
Girl Meets World was,
and that wasn't even that good. So let's just say
Boy Meets World was everything when you were a 90s kid. I loved Boy Meets World. I enjoyed that.
But this is really, it's unprofessional. You have these. Obviously, if he was fired, then there could be some validity to this. But it's still early to tell, like, if these are, I know you take everything serious. You take everything, make sure everything's do the right investigations and protocols. So maybe there was some validity. Usually with these cases, you gotta wait to see how it plays out. But if it kind of comes out to the fact that, like, maybe that's true, or like, I don't know. It's sad. Because it's just like, obviously, Fred Savage. We know who Fred Savage is. Like, if you don't know who he is, then, like, where have you been for all these years? But it's a shame.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see that we're still living in this stupid toxicity world of, like, people, like, taking too much of a hold of their job and outlashing at people instead of being mature people and actually talking things out. Or being a little too confrontational, like, or too personable at work.
Yeah, I could believe that, because from experience, it could happen like that. But it's up to you to remain to keep that professional mindset. You can't be letting your emotions get you when you're trying to work.
Yeah, I'm just really disappointed. This means that the Wonder Years revival reboot could be up in the air. I mean, I haven't watched the recent reboot.
Has anyone watched the new one? Can you confirm
I mean,
that?
I haven't yet. Or maybe will not. I just really wasn't into the Wonder Years. I know that it was around when, I'm guessing like your parents were, around when. Well, my parents were around when when the Wonder Years were, a thing. But did your parents watch it?
I have no idea, honestly. Give me 1 second. Hold up. Let me confirm this.
Get Mama Mac on the line.
I am. Mom, did you watch the Wonder Years? She did watch it.
She did watch it?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if my parents watched it. I don't feel like talking to them now.
And she did watch the remake.
She did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people. There's.
I can run it and get her if you want her to get her take on it.
If she wants to talk the reboot, we can talk reboot.
Yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. And she's back, and let's give her the microphone, shall we? And the
Mama
headphones.
Mac.
Here, hold up. Here she is.
Oh, wait a minute. Hello.
Hello, how are you? It's been a minute since I talked to you.
I know. How are you? I'm good.
I'm wonderful. How are you? I just hate to be breaking this news and asking your opinion on this, but do you know who Fred Savage is?
Yes, Wonder Years.
Yes, the
old school.
No,
Yeah.
the old school Wonder Years. Now, you watched the original, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now, Mac and I were just discussing, but Fred Savage was just recently fired from the Wonder Years for misconduct on set.
What did he? Give me the tea. What did he do?
They didn't reveal all the tea yet. I'm sure all the tea will be spilled soon, but it is front, centered, and page on Deadline, saying that they are launching an investigation. So expect this to be on the 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock news when this is addressed.
I'm definitely checking that out. I watched the new Wonder Years.
Is it good?
It's great, and it's Dule Hill and the new kid that's been introduced, and there's even a spoiler for the old Wonder Years in this one.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. I mean, you really got to watch it.
I gotta watch it then.
But Fred Savage, well, I guess he wants to live up to his name.
Something.
Savage.
I am. But Maggie the Stallion wouldn't be included on that track, though. Let's fix it. She's savage.
I'm like, she's
the only
savage.
one?
I know. Wow, I'm seriously shocked.
I'm just disappointed that we live in a society now that I guess certain people can still take advantage of many other people in this industry, or not even that, just in the workplace.
In life, actually.
Yes.
Wow. And then I'm surprised it's Fred Savage.
Because he seems like such a nice guy. Like, I've seen him host, like, when he was on, like, Kelly. Remember? Did you watch Kelly and Ryan?
I've watched him every once in a while. I used to watch him when she was with Regis.
Yes, that's when I used to watch it.
Okay. Yes, but I do remember seeing him on Kelly one time, and I stopped and listened to him for a while for a little nostalgia.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sad about this.
I know. Wow. And did you see his new commercials? I forgot what it's for, Lay's or something, and they're doing like him and another kid from the old school. I can't remember, but it's
I can't remember. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Yeah, check it. It's a commercial for something, and they're talking about being rebuffed, and then they come back and there's these two dudes who are buffed. But it's a nice little laugh. But I mean, Fred Savage, you messed up.
Messed up is right. But thank you, Mama Mac, for coming on the mic.
Welcome, dearie. You guys take care. Have a good night.
Have a good night too, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, and the same to your mom.
Alrighties, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, hon. All right, take care.
Bye.
Oh, and I will be listening to you, of course, on Spotify. You. On Spotify.
Yes, thank you.
You guys, I crack up.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, hon. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay.
Mac, why is your mom the cutest person on earth?
She is.
She makes me want to give her a hug. She does. Like, every time I talk to her, she's like the nicest person on earth.
She's awesome, dude. But yeah.
We need more people like Mac's mom.
We should get more a family member episode. You should have, like, your sister.
I tried to convince everybody I live in my household to come on the show, and they are nervous to come on a microphone.
Oh, my goodness.
Me, I'm very outspoken, and I just, I say it like I mean it.
But yeah, it's just sad, dude. Like, I guess, you live long enough to see you either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, and hopefully Fred Savage just doesn't turn out to be the person that this article is saying as, but...
Oh, no, because it could turn worse, because did you hear about the whole Bill Murray thing?
Yeah, that was another conversation I was going to have, but I didn't want to turn a sad conversation, because I love Bill Murray to death.
I do too. Let's just, just moral story, just don't be a dick.
Don't be a meanie bobini. That's what I like to say. And
don't be a prick.
Don't just treat people with respect on set. You are in a workplace, and just remember to use your conscience and just treat others with kindness.
Yeah.
This goes back to the Harry Styles and listen to a song, treat people with kindness.
Or shoot them with a gun if they piss you off in a road rage.
No, treat people with kindness. Listen to Harry Styles.
Or pepper spray them.
No, treat people with kindness. Listen to Harry Styles.
That's the Mac. But let's. I think we've been on the news for a while. This has been going a little.
Yeah, this has been going on for a little while. But Mac, I think it's time to talk about one of our favorite people in the world.
Yes, it's Nick Friggin!
Yay!
Woo! Hey! Because we're about to be talking about the unbearable weight of massive talent, so stay tuned.
Massive Talent is 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Don't freak out.
Oh my God!
Every once in a while, a movie comes along that's so hilarious.
I say, ha!
And so lovable.
I love you! I love you!
You'll want to see it in a theater.
Hit the brakes! Don't worry, he's totally passed out.
Massive Talent.
You're heavier than you look. I have a very big head.
Alrighties, guys. Today we are talking a movie that Mac and I have been very anxiously awaiting to see. And we both did see it. Mm-hmm. And it's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. A movie that pays homage to the one and only one of the greatest actors and most legendary actors of all time, Nicolas Mother effing Cage. And this film is directed by Tom Gormican. In this action-packed comedy, Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage, channeling his iconic characters as he's caught between a superfan, played by Pedro Pascal, and agent, played by Tiffany Haddish. Was that a bear, or are you just running?
Oh no, I hit my headphones on my microphone. God, this movie it's something. It's if you like Nicolas Cage, then this is the perfect movie.
This movie is pure Nicolas Cage.
It's a celebration
with all the rage in it. You're right. It is a celebration to him, and I loved it. Did you love it, Mac?
I did love it. Although my dad said it was boring.
I think this is pure a cult film. I
called it. I told you.
Yeah, and I got to see it with the director. They held a pre-screening for it, and my sister and I went because my sister talked about seeing this movie for a while, and then I ended up getting tickets and a notification to go see it early. So I went to go see it early. It was a nice little party even before after, and the director was there, gave a great Q&A, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. I loved all the comedic timing. There was great comedic moments. And the great part is it had a lot of heart and a lot of passion towards cinema. And celebrating an actor who was most beloved in Hollywood.
Indeed, yes. This is truly it's like a love letter to I think what makes it better is that he gets it. He embraces it. He could have been okay, let's stop it. But he knows what we love about it, and he just runs with it. And I think that makes it even more awesome.
Yeah, and he gives it his all in every single performance in just about any film. You could say he phones it in, and you could tell, like, from watching many movies, even his direct-to-DVD films, like a film like Willy's Wonderland, which is a film I did not like.
I liked it.
I know there's an audience who likes it, and for someone who didn't really like it, he gives just about any film his all, even if he doesn't. You can tell he works really hard, and he loves cinema, and you can tell that the very minute he accepts as president. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry, I was picking up Lego pieces.
Why are you picking up Lego pieces?
I dropped a figure on the floor.
Oh no, what kind of figure?
It was a little makeshift thing I made. It was like a little alien thing back when I was a kid, and it broke.
Oh no! Did it break?
Yeah, it broke.
Oh
I was trying
no!
to piece it back together, but it fell.
Oh no! All right, I'll give you a minute.
Oh, no, keep talking about the movie.
Because it was making noise. That's why.
Oh yeah, no, because I kept dropping it. But yeah, no, he from the beginning of the movie, like you could tell, like, well, he comes from the Coppola family too, so like
he comes from a wide, long family of who loves cinema.
So I think that's like that was instilled. Because I really feel like this is a love letter and also kind of a biopic in a way. Did you feel that?
I mean,
in a way,
it's a stretched biopic.
Yeah, because I feel like there's some nitpick. There might be some little
like it's the biopic if you want to say like taking silly putty and stretching it out. Like not that kind of biopic. It's like over dramatic. Like Nicolas Cage playing an extreme version of himself, and he gets into some crazy hijinks that involves him and Pedro Pascal, because apparently Pedro Pascal's character is involved with some dangerous activity. And it turns out his character has kidnapped a certain particular person. Where I don't want to give as many details away.
Let's not give a lot of spoilers.
But it's not you think he's the bad guy, but he could not be. He isn't. The great part is Pedro Pascal is one of the most lovable people in this film.
Oh my gosh, yes,
more
he
than
is.
Nicolas Cage. And I was surprised because this is the time in April when a different movie called The Bubble was released. And that was another film that was supposed to show Pedro Pascal's like comedic timing and chops.
Mm-hmm.
That movie got panned.
Really?
It was supposedly one of Judd Apatow's worst films.
Oh.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on Netflix and it's like a COVID movie. Then it takes people into wondering, could this be one of his worst performances? No, I loved this performance. I think this is one of Pedro's best.
Oh, this is awesome. This is
that
amazing.
shows his not just that shows his dramatic side, because he's from Narcos and we know him as the legendary Mandalorian, and he's in Triple Frontier with Charlie Hunnam and Ben Affleck, and he's been around for a long period of time, even appearing like in Law and Order and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So he's been around for a long time, and this is something that I feel like I could even see him like a film made for Pedro, and like another fan taking it on as him. And it's interesting to see him go to these crazy lengths because his character is a little nutty when he gets with Nicolas Cage, and it was interesting to see him take on these extreme lengths to be a super fan, because it made me think of today's modern age of a super fan.
Oh my god, yeah.
I mean, Mac, you and I are super fan like movie fans, and we are super fans of other particular things, whether it might be a music or an anime, for an example. But it's interesting to see the lengths and a super fan will go. And I'm only saying that because there's a particular scene in the film where his character owns not just a shrine, but a memorabilia room.
I laughed so hard in the hardest of the theater, especially when they got to the face-off statue.
Oh yes, that statue is so brilliant, and apparently some of that wax figure melted
Oh.
when they were filming it. This is like, I'm trying to put together the pieces, so don't 100% quote me on this, but apparently like the head was melted because this was like one of the COVID movies that was filmed at the time, because I'm trying to think back at the conversation with the director said it, but apparently the wax head itself was melting, so they like, because they were filming in Croatia. It was so hot where they were, the wax head was melting.
No, man.
There's a lot of stuff that happens, including a LSD moment, which is one I was literally on the floor laughing.
My dad was even laughing too, and he said this movie was boring.
Because this scene is actually online. If you actually look up Lionsgate and the scene with LSD and Nicolas Cage, because Nick Cage and Pedro's character, his name is Javi.
Javi, yeah.
And Javi, you know, I love that scene where they go, Javi. My name is Javi. Javi. He's so cute. He's just so innocent and pure in that thing. But anyways, they take some shrooms, and they and they just go on this binge. And there's at one point where there's an old like couple of people who think they're staring at Cage, and the way Pedro just makes like this face like to scare them, it's just so funny. And I just loved all the comedic bits in it, and I love the fact that they kind of brought Nicolas Cage character somewhat down the earth.
He was somewhat down. He was somewhat down to earth, but he had those quirks that, like, I love it.
Like, he was, like, a sociopath. Like, he's, like, all over the place. And, he's not... I can't think of the word right now. But he's so full of himself. And you can tell at the moment in his career, because they make his character... pretty much down on his luck, because his character is having trouble finding several major roles, and he can't get the roles that he wants, and he's in debt, which pays homage to his many lavish purchases, because Nicolas Cage has been in debt, and they actually acknowledge that when he sees his wax figure. Do you remember that? When he offers to give that money?
I'll give you $20,000 for it.
And he just looks at him, Pedro, and he's like, "It's not for sale." He takes this $1 million to go see Pedro Pascal to show at his birthday party, and they ended up connecting. And I didn't realize how well they would connect, and they really get along. And they add some pretty great moments to Nicolas Cage's character and some more characteristic traits to it. So they have Nicolas Cage as a divorced man. The man has been married twice, but they have, in this movie, he's been married once, who is played by Sharon Hogan as Olivia Henson, and he also has a daughter. Eventually, it goes like to show his timing with his daughter and trying to be almost like a better father.
Yeah.
I enjoy the moments that they have together. Do you remember the therapy session that they had?
Oh my god. That was
and the moments, and how they the movie that they get along, that Nicolas Cage watched with his daughter and hoping she would like, The Cabinet of Dr. Cargolini.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie?
No, I haven't actually.
No, I haven't either. But I just thought it was funny because then I knew what they were talking about, and then I was like, then they referenced Paddington 2 as one of the greatest movies, because there's a bond and love for Paddington 2.
There is, actually, in real life, too.
Yeah, so I found that really funny, and the director happens to really, really enjoy Paddington 2.
That would make a lot of sense.
So there's a reference to that. There's a lot of great movie references, and they reference all of just about every single Nicolas Cage performance that you can think of, including like Face Off, Mandy, Con Air, National Treasure, The Wicker Man. I mean, they couldn't reference Willy's Wonderland or anything like recent because of the timing of this film. But what is one movie you would have liked to see referenced if it was referenced?
Honestly, I wish they referenced Ghost Rider.
I thought they did.
I don't remember.
I mean, if they did, I'm trying to think back to see if they did or not. I could have sworn there was at least a prop in it, but I thought you would have said mom and dad.
Yeah, just him begging on the door. It's like, you on the door.
I'm trying to think back at which one I would have loved to seen. I think one of them would have been mom and dad. But
Good one, yeah.
it's great to know that so many people in this film love Nicolas Cage, because I heard that Tiffany Haddish back in 2020 was casted in this film, and I was like, okay, maybe she could play a love interest, but she's not. She's a CIA agent who basically turns Nicolas Cage into a CIA agent, which is something that you would not expect from Nicolas Cage. And Mike Barinholtz, who's from Neighbors, is brought also into the situation as another CIA agent. He's also great in The After Party, but the two are CIA agents, and I love the camera scene where Nicolas Cage has to sneak into Javi's room. Mm-hmm. And you'll know what I'm talking about when you see this movie, guys, because you guys have to see this movie. I think this is one of the best comedies of the entire year that I've seen so far.
It's definitely in my top 3.
Right now, from what I'm trying to think back in my letterbox, because since I track just about everything in my letterbox, I think it also is number 3 for me as well. And I just loved every single minute about it. I thought the comedic timing was great. I enjoyed all the set design. I enjoyed Nicolas Cage himself, and I would love to see more people recognize this movie. But right now, it's with a $30 million budget, it's made about $19.2 million.
Yeah, that's the part that has made me a little disheartening, because I'm like, you know what? I wish it came out a little bit earlier in the year, maybe like January, catch it by storm. But it's a time where everything else is going to kick its ass, and even the people who see it, it's like it's making so little money, and it's like, damn, man, that sucks.
And you think this is like, I see the potential where Lionsgate could have taken this on and been like, yeah, this is how we get into the cult status. Mm-hmm. Like, I could see this film down the road as being a cult favorite.
Oh, it is, definitely.
And I think it's going to be, given the hype and praise Nicolas Cage has as a person and his career, and Pedro Pascal is as a person. Mm-hmm. I just think that this will definitely hold up in years to come and is a great piece in comedy. I think given all the moments that happen in it and all the performances that are great and the direction that it took, because there are some wild bits in this film, like what you say, or like I said, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. I thought it has a lot of heart and great comedic, like I say, I think I keep saying it's got great comedic timing, and there's great scenarios. I just really enjoyed this movie.
It was, yeah, I kind of didn't say a lot because you kind of took everything I was going to say. Because you just, there's not really else to say. It's just a good movie.
I gave it, in my diary and like my letterbox account, I gave it a 5-star. And I have it as my top 4. Because there's only like 4 movies I gave like a 5 out of 5 rating on my letterbox account.
I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, I could see that. I might give it a 4.5 on my letterbox account because, times changed as I think of it over. I really do want to watch this again. I would love to see Nicolas Cage even get a Golden Globe nomination for this.
Yeah, there's definitely some awards that need to be thrown out for this one.
I really do love it. And I hope we get... it makes me wish there are more comedies like this, because I haven't laughed this hard, at least about a moment that involved a drug-related moment, since 21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street.
And this type of movie will come every once in a while, so give it a few more years, someone else will do it.
Yeah. Does this make you think about another actor who should do this? Because in my
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that's what I said too. Keanu Reeves should do a movie like this.
Like, this would be perfect for him.
Yeah, another movie would be like perfect for this for him, and I think like Pietro could like eventually see himself, like I said this earlier, could see himself like as performing in a role like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was about him, I could see this too. Don't miss it. It's in theaters. Please check this out.
It is a meta film. It's very meta.
I like how you said. I like how you just called it meta. I think that was like a. You said. I like how you just called it meta. I think that was like a great word to describe it. Alrighty, Mac. It's hilarious. It's fun. And what rating did you give it when you wrote your review? And you gave it a what?
8.5 out of 10.
I thought you gave it a 9 out of 10.
Did I? I don't. Wait a minute. I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. I gotta wake up early for a golf tournament. I gave it 9 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I gave it an A. So basically a 9.5, I guess, out of 10. 10 out of 10. And guess what, Mac?
What?
I won a Nicolas Cage pillow.
Yes, you did.
I texted you right away as soon as I got this. And ladies and gentlemen, I now own a Nicolas Cage pillow. So thank you, Lionsgate. I can't wait to sleep with my Nicolas Cage pillow. So let's wrap things up.
Yeah.
I had to just change things up a little bit. So let's change the speed and head on over to talk about the box office, shall we? All right, guys. I'm going to talk about the box office for once because I never get to do it. So watch out, Mac. Coming in at number 10, we got Morbius with earning about $1 million, making it a total gross of $71 million, followed by Father Stu, the Mark Wahlberg movie, earning about $2 million, which makes it $17 million in its gross and domestic. Followed by Memory with $3 million. Then The Lost City, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Come on, we got to make this movie higher.
Yes,
come on, guys. Right now, it's got about a $90 million total gross. Why is it $90 million? I don't know. Oh no, it's $13 million. That's what I was looking at. The Lost City. Excuse me, with a domestic total gross of $13 million. We got Everything All at Once, which is the latest A24 film, coming in with $5 million, with $35 million domestic. Then we got The Northman, which is another movie I got to see recently. Pretty good as well. Coming in at $6 million, earning about $22 million domestically. Then The Fantastic Beasts: Secrets of Dumbledore. Screw you, Ezra Miller at $79 million. Then followed by Sonic the Hedgehog 2, earning about $11 million with $161 domestic. Then rounding it all out is the latest Universal Pictures animated film and DreamWorks film, The Bad Guy, starring who we previously recently talked about, Sam Rockwell, earning about $16 million this past weekend with $44 million domestic. And this is the week of April 29th through May 1st.
Ooh.
Have you seen any of the movies that I've talked about recently besides Morbius and A Massive Talent?
Not yet. No, I've been to the movie since Unbearable.
Is there one movie on this list that you want to see recently?
Northman.
Yeah, The Northman was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's a tad long, and it's got some good horror elements to it. So, yeah. Next episode, we will be talking the latest Doctor Strange movie, the multiverse, and hopefully we'll have our guest for that. We will reveal details about our guest soon. We will also be talking Top Gun. Mac and I will be reviewing the last Top Gun movie before we talk Top Gun Maverick. So for now, please follow the podcast and Instagram page and stay tuned for the latest. And if you also have news that you would like us to talk about, please send it over to our Instagram page. And give us a follow at Miss Filmingo and at Mac Movies. For now, this has been Mac and Kristen saying goodbye. Mac?
Bye.
Bye.